Hello everyone, Jimmy Grant here. So today I want to talk to you about these Django licks that are kind of descending chords. I'm going to one lick specifically from one of his, just one of those things recordings. These descending chords it's a very complex subject as people don't know what to play over them, and there's really a million different things. I'm not really going to break it down too much of why some of this works. I mean, it's obvious. It's very harmonic, but I'm going to teach you how to play this lick, and it's something you can use and use under other songs as well. Anyways, so let's go and get started. But first, let's check out some of the links I have below. I have some free PDFs as well as some other things to check out. And I also give lessons if you're interested in that. So check it out below. I have some lesson packages and things. And also have a rhythm guitar course coming out. So if you sign up for the PDFs, you'll get a notification when the rhythm guitar video is coming out. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So this is a lick from Django's Just One of Those Things recordings. He plays it in, he doesn't play it in F sharp. It's just the recording is the way it's recorded, and the tape is out of tune. So it sounds like it's an F sharp, but actually it's probably an F. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the case with the recording. But I just transposed it to F for the sake of guitar, and this being a more likely key that you would play this kind of lick in. And you can take it and move it to other keys like G major, and then I'll show you some songs you could try to approach it and throw it in there, or even just parts of it. It's a very nice lick. Anyways, let's go and play it for you again. So here's the lick very slow, and it starts on the 6th fret on the D string, to the 7th fret, to the 5th fret. You bar that on the 5th fret on the B string. So 8th fret, and you can use your pinky. 8th fret, hammer on off the F and the G. 5th fret on the B string. 7th fret on the G string. 5th fret on the G string. 8th fret on the D string. B flat, A, 7th fret on the D string, and then 5th fret on the D string, and then a hammer on off the F and the E, the 7th and 8th fret on the A string. So we were at this little trill, and then it goes up a diminished run. So 5th fret, 8th fret on the D string, on the G string, the 6th fret, 5th fret on the B string. This is how I play it, and this is how a lot of more modern players would play it. 5th fret on the B string, 8th fret on the B string, 6th fret on the E string, and then 10th fret on the E string. And then 8th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret, and then 10th fret on the G string, 12th fret on the D string, and then back to the 10th fret on the G string. So So that's like and so you could on just one of these things for this example, you could actually play this lick over the first A or the second A, even though the chords change slightly. The first A. F sharp diminished, G minor. But Django actually plays it over the second A, so which is. And then it goes to the bridge, which we'll talk about that later at some other point in a recording. Anyways, so let's go ahead and break down this lick for you. Let's see. So first, he plays like mostly out of an F major scale for the first part of this lick. So when you see these chord shapes like this, that's just an F major. It's the same notes. You just end up with your root on the high B string. And the 3-note chord, now you don't have the root. And once you start seeing some of these shapes, it makes sense why you can sub certain lines for this. And it looks like you're... It's just an F major scale. And so it goes down to A flat diminished, or sometimes you can think of these diminished chords as like a G7 flat 9. You have your flat 9 in the root. You know, if you look at these notes, that's going into a G minor because the next chord is G minor 7. But you know, Django plays this augmented. So let's play that real slow for you. I do a little trill off the F there to the E on the 7th fret on the A string, and then half step down, and then back to the 7th fret, the E, G, B flat, then you have your D. This is likely how Django played it. I was fingering it slightly different. And then you have your B string, or 11th fret, so 8 to 11th fret, and then the 10th fret, and then back to the 8th fret on the B string, and then down this D minor arpeggio, or F major. So once again, I like to... So I like to play it finger like this. I think it's a little easier. Django probably did not play it like this. So he could have, but I mean, you can always practice this stuff with 2 fingers. Really, if you have 4 fingers, you should use them all. If that's the case. I spent a lot of time working on my pinky strength and stuff like that. You know, this things like that. It's important. You know, most of your sound's coming from your left. A lot of your sound comes from your left hand. So it's very, very important. Anyway, so let's break this down a little more. So, you know, it goes to this, it's just a diminished. So what do you play over diminished? A diminished run if you want. I mean, you could play, you know, going down here. Let's just play arpeggio. You can play diminished scales a million ways. That was just arpeggios, just over the chords. You could just play that, and then just to get comfortable and see why it's working like that. With the diminish. So this is over. another way to figure out these arpeggios, if you just move them up the neck a little bit, you can see in minor thirds. So 4th fret, the root, the finger on the 4th fret, 7th fret. Then you can start on any of these notes for that. You know, I did another lesson recently on the Biréli lick, and we'll take that out. So it's good to know your arpeggios. Once you really see, you know, let's take the basic, not the entire diminished scale, but these like Django style arpeggios. So let's start on an open E. Okay, so E, G, B flat, C sharp, E, G, B flat, C sharp, E, G. So you have your B flat and C sharp. Okay. So it just repeats itself again. Now we go up a half step. Now we're on F. F, G sharp, B, D, F. And then we have we're back at our F, back at our A flat again. B, D. It's just repeating the same notes, just repeating ourselves. So that's our F diminished, or A flat diminished, or B flat diminished, or D flat diminished. Sorry, D, F, B, D. Sorry. So, okay, now we go up to G. G, B flat, C sharp, or D flat, E, G. Wow, that's familiar. Okay, let's do this again. E, G, B flat, C sharp, D flat, again. So the diminished scale just repeats itself after 3. There's only 3 different versions of it. So if you kind of start thinking of it like that, and I don't like these kind of ideas like you're always a half step off from the right note. I don't think that's a good way to approach soloing. I think though it's another way is if your ears aren't always going to work on the guitar, but if I have this A flat diminished, I can always play. I can play. I can start on if I just arpeggiate it. I can start it on any of these notes. And then you can take the rest of the scale and kind of add it in there. And then the other thing I mentioned is you can treat it like this diminished chord, this A flat diminished. I think it's a good way to think of how these things function over there. But and then of course practicing scales and things is great. But I think knowing licks and then being able to break them down and understand how they function is a better skill to have for when you're learning. You can know all the scales, but if you don't know how to use them, it doesn't matter. Or if you don't have the technique to play them, it doesn't matter. Anyways, that's all for the lesson today. Oh, I didn't finish, but let's so it's just chromatically up from G, A flat, or G sharp to A. And then you have your F and your D. And it's like pentatonic scale, but it's notes out of F. Out of F major, because the relevant minor is D minor. So you can use that anytime you see these little on something like Honeysuckle Rose, or anything you see a 2/5 like that. And then if you want to go up a whole step to turn around. Kind of hear Django use that all over the place throughout his entire career, those kind of ideas. And they change slightly, but it's always the same concepts that you'll hear. So also, like, I was using this in just one of those things. But one song think of a song that has that kind of progression in it that everyone struggles with playing. Not everyone, but a lot of people do. Now think of it. I think I know the song you're thinking about. That's Djangology, right? You were thinking Djangology. I know you were. This. Now this first chord, it's a little questionable to use it over that because that first chord of Djangology is A7. That's the actual chord that's being played, and at some point it got turned into this moving down thing, and then it goes to C minor. You could, there's your chord. You could take it and adjust the notes to work for that, but it's not. That's not gonna work. But when you get to this next part, down from G, now you can use it because it's the same progression. So. Sorry. So you can use it and play it off the. So if you play off the third of a dominant chord, or sorry, that's wrong. We're playing over the B flat here. And it kind of moves up through the chords nicely there, and then you have your 2/5/1. So those notes all work over those three chords there. So let's play it again, and I'm doing just the same thing up a half step. So. You could play something like that, to play it. But if you just take this and start throwing it other different ideas, and then, you can always adjust the notes and adjust the lines. Anyways, I hope this lesson helps. Once again, I have some links to check out below. I have my rhythm guitar course coming out too, so please check that out when it comes out. And thanks for being here, and like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you soon.